All right, happy Friday, everybody. Wow, yesterday was fun. We'll talk about it, but we got punched in the mouth. 15 game slate today. Just, just rip the band-aid off. Let's just do this. What a terrible day. Boston, New York. Nobody could score. Ended up being 2-1. Colorado, Detroit. Detroit blew the game. That was awesome. Bullpen did a good job. Ended up finishing at 6. We had over 7. Houston ended up cashing for us late. Milwaukee, San Francisco, terrible game. 2-3 nothing, something like that. Giants team total over 3.5. Didn't even get one. Nats team total over 4.5. Scored 3 in the first. Didn't score the rest of the game. So that was cool. Let's see. Parlays. Nope. We almost hit the Houston, Detroit first 5-1. Detroit bullpen blew it. So that was cool. Seattle ended up blowing the game. Washington blew the game. Yankees won. So I'll tell you what, the 8th and the ninth inning, I hate them. I absolutely hate the 8th and the ninth inning right now. It's been gut-wrenching. Like I said, Tigers blew it. Mariners blew it. Nats blew it. Giants were never in it. And the Reds blew it. So, yeah. There's that. That's cool. On the prop lanes, Feltner ended up getting 17 outs. We needed under 16.5. GG there. Skubal gave up 4 hits. Williams gave up way more than 5, so we were good there. Spence gave up 2 earned runs, not 3. Chapman went 0 for 3, maybe. And then Yonder Diaz had 2 singles. So we ended up going over that. Nerfies, we went 2-1. Making a comeback on the Nerfies. We're making a good comeback. Knock on wood, but making a good comeback there. All right, hot and cold matchups. We got a decent amount with a 15-game slate. Alonso and Marte for the Mets are hot against Nola. Real Muto, Schwarber hot against Quintana. That's pretty much it. Just kind of sporadic onesies there. A couple of cold batter matchups. Same thing. Martinez, Lindor, and Winker are cold against Nola. A couple guys are cold against the Reds. I mean, that entire offense is cold. And we've got 3 players that are kind of cold against Logan Webb or the Padres. Hot pitcher matchups. Freddie Peralta up against the D-backs. 207 average. Jacob deGrom making his first start of the year. 222 against this current Mariners lineup. Cold pitcher matchups. Tanner Houck, 212 average against the current Yankees lineup. Although 212 is not bad. Not really considered why that's a cold matchup. I guess because he's given up a 368 on base percentage. So struggling a little bit with control against him. 19 base on balls and 85 ABs. So there's that. Bullpen review. Everything's looking pretty healthy. Nothing I'm too concerned about. Standings review here. So O's Yankees are kind of the big one. 2 games with them. So pretty good. Good matchup coming up there. Let's see. Yeah, I need Yankees to continue going. Red Sox, obviously 4.5. They lose this. We're just gonna go ahead and say they're dead on the season. They would fall potentially 5.5 games back with 14 to play. So probably not looking good there. Tigers definitely need to get a win today. They're 3.5 back. Mariners almost on life support. I would say another loss, and it's pretty much a GG. The only reason why I wouldn't count them out of the West is because there is a 3-game series coming up between the Astros and the Mariners. So could technically see a 3-game swing there in the West. Let's see. Braves are 1 game out of the wild card, so unfortunately they've got a series against the Dodgers coming up here. So that's a tough one. Cubs 5 games back, almost on life support. They are going to be in Colorado, so really need a sweep coming in there. We got the D-backs and the Padres. Yeah, that's pretty much it there. Let's jump right in. So game 1, Mets and the Phillies. Aaron Nola going up against Jose Quintana. Quintana's got a 4.20 away ERA. Nola, little less than a 3 home ERA. If we look at Quintana, hasn't pitched extremely well against Philly since 2022. He's 0-1 with almost a 5 ERA. He has pitched against Philly in 2 games, so at Philly didn't go so well. So he's pitched both his games at Philly, 9 innings in total, 10 hits, 5 earned runs, and only 5 Ks. So a little bit of a struggle bus for Quintana in Philly. If we look at Aaron Nola, he has pitched 7 games versus the Mets since 2022. He's got a 3.5 ERA in 7 games. Didn't give up an earned run in his last game against them. If we look at Nola, he's been pitching very well at home. Only 2 earned runs in his last 3 home starts. 4 earned runs in his last start versus Miami, though, but that was at Miami on a getaway day. We all know that's a different damn team. They're just built different on getaway days. Quintana's been pitching really well in his last 3 games, only giving up 1 earned run. He faced Cincinnati in New York, and then he was at the White Sox and at the Padres. So coming into this game with some good form, I think it should be a pretty good game. Should be a tight game. I don't necessarily think this is going to be a blowout. Could be, but seems unlikely. I would give a lean towards the Phillies, but there is value taking the Mets here. I just don't know if they'll get to Nola. Haven't really been loving the Mets offense. We look over the past week, they're struggling, hitting 174, past 2 weeks, 216. So Phillies definitely have the better form. They are hitting lefties, so lean Phillies. Kind of tough to pay minus 166, though. That's a tight one. All right, next game, O's and the Tigers. Huge series for both teams here. Zach Eflin going up against Brant Herter. If we look at Eflin, he's got a 4.38 away ERA. Herter has a 2.37 home ERA, but he's only pitched 4 home games. Eflin, 5 earned runs in his last 4 away starts, but did give up 3 earned runs in that last start versus the Rays, and it was all to the long ball. I think it was 3 solo home runs, so little bit concerning there. Tigers have been hitting the long ball a lot lately in this little streak they're on. But if we look at the Orioles, they are 4-2 with the rest advantage, and they are 29-17 this year as away favorites. So definitely some numbers that kind of work in their favor. Orioles really haven't faced a left-handed starter since the 1st of September, so it's been about 12 days, but they went on a streak there for probably the 10 days prior to that where they were just crushing left-handed pitching. They had gotten 24 earned runs off 6 left-handed starters. If we look at Herter, he's pitching pretty well. He's only given up 8 earned runs in his last 5 games. So like the way this kid throws, I can definitely see him shutting down this offense. I just think Eflin shuts down Detroit's offense. I would lean the under 8 before I would necessarily pick a winner. It's kind of hard, right? I don't trust the Tigers bullpen after yesterday. They looked terrible. They haven't had a break, so I would go Baltimore just with the rest advantage. Bullpen is in better shape. I think Eflin should throw a decent game, but I think Herter has a decent game too. So like I said, under 8, lean Orioles. All right, Royals, Pirates. Alec Marsh, one of my favorite pitchers to fade, going up against Luis Ortiz, another one that I like to fade. So 2 fade pitchers, probably going to equal an over. It's kind of crazy that the wind's blowing in and the over-under is 8.5. So expect to see runs in this game. Ortiz, about a 4 home ERA. Marsh, about a 5 away ERA. If we look at Ortiz in his last start versus Washington, he went 5.2 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 home run. Put the home run in there because he went on a stretch of about 6 games where he was giving up a ton of home runs, hadn't given up a home run in 3 starts, and then just recently gave up this home run. So could definitely see the Royals smashing some home runs today off of him. The wind blowing in definitely helps him. But both of these pitchers, damn near identical splits, about 62% fly balls. So wind blowing in will actually benefit them both. If we look at Ortiz, 13 earned runs in his last 4 home starts, 3 earned runs in his last 3 games. So recent form has been pretty good. That said, he doesn't have strikeout stuff against a Royals team that really doesn't strike out a ton anyway. So it's going to be a lot of balls put in play today. If we look at Marsh, 7 earned runs in his last 3 games since he came back off of injury. Or maybe he got sent down. Not real sure. Could have been one or the other. Probably got sent down. Either way, he's been pitching okay in his last 3 games since he returned. If we look at Kansas City, what I thought was kind of interesting, they're 12-6 after a day off. Pittsburgh's only 4-14 after a day off. So give me the Royals at plus money, just the better team. Pitch splits for Marsh, giving up a 303 average to lefties, 136 to righties. So he's doing pretty well against righties. Ortiz giving up about a 200 average to lefties and righties. Royals better team. All right, Marlins, Nats. This was looking like a blowout after the first inning, and then Marlins just do what they do, and they're just pesky. All right, Edward Cabrera going up against DJ Hers. Cabrera almost a 7 away ERA. Hers about a 4 home ERA. Oh, God. If we look at Cabrera, he pitched against this team on April 27th. He went 4 innings, 4 hits, 5 earned runs, 4 Ks. He faced Philly in his last game. He was pretty damn good. 7 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs. Prior to the previous 4 games to that, though, he had given up 13 earned runs. We look at DJ Hurst. He's been pitching really well as of late. He's only given up 4 earned runs in his last 3 games, and all of those came against the Cubs when they were on that crazy tear. Hurst did face Miami on June 15th, went 6 innings, 1 hit, no earned runs. So I like the Nats to bounce back today and get the win. Pitch splits for Cabrera just don't look great. So I like him to get the job done today. I like the splits on Hurst, giving up a 120 average to lefties, 161 to righties over the last 30 days. Cabrera, not bad either, 276 to lefties, 200 to righties. So I would lean towards the under maybe 8. I don't know. It's such a fine line. I don't really want to touch it. I just trust the Nats to get the job done. All right, Yankees, Red Sox. Saw the Yankees win in extra innings last night. Clark Schmidt going up against Tanner Houck. Schmidt hasn't had a great record against Boston. If we look, he's got a 4.23 career ERA. If we go back just to last year, he pitched 21 innings against this team, gave up 20 earned runs, so that's not great. If we look at Houck, he's given up 10 earned runs over his last 3 starts. He gave up 4 versus the Mets and 6 versus the Diamondbacks, shut out the Tigers. If we look at Houck, he's pitched in 2 games versus the Yankees this year. He's gone a little over 9 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 Ks. So not amazing splits there, but he's pitched a lot against this Yankees team. So he's 2-2 with a 2.67 ERA versus the Yankees since 2022, and that's 9 games. Obviously, these 2 teams play a lot. I like the Yankees, just better form in my opinion. Boston is pretty much all but out of it at this point unless they go on just a tremendous run. So give me the Yankees at home. Lean towards the under. All right, Cardinals, Blue Jays. Eric Fedde going up against Kevin Gausman, I believe. They haven't named their starter, but I believe that's who it's going to be. Gausman, not the greatest at home. He's got a 5.5 home ERA. Fedde, about a 4.5 away ERA. If we look at Fedde, he did pitch against this Toronto team. Obviously, he was in the AL prior to moving over to the Cardinals. So, pitched against them May 20th. Wasn't great. 6 innings, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 Ks. Almost got a 5 career ERA versus the Blue Jays. Fedde is one of those guys, good at home, not so great away. He's given up 14 earned runs over his last 4 away starts versus the Yankees, the Twins, the Reds, and the Cubs. 8 earned runs overall in his last 4 starts, so there is some home starts in there. If we look at Gausman, 1-2 with a 2.70 ERA versus the Cardinals since 2022. So he's pitched pretty well against them. That said, last time he faced them in Toronto, he gave up 5 earned runs, but that was back in 2022. Gausman, 9 earned runs over his last 4, 9 earned runs over his last 4 home starts. So he's going to give up some runs at home. Fedde should give up some runs. I like the over 8. I believe the over has gone, if we look at the Blue Jays home games, they're over in like 9 of 12 or something like that. It's a ridiculously high number where it goes over. And you got 2 pitchers that should give up runs as well. All right, Rays, Guardians. Guardians thought they were going to win it, ended up blowing it to the Rays. A lot of blown games yesterday. It was pretty crazy. Bullpens were in pretty shit shape. Bibee, Littell, 6 earned runs over his last 4 starts, 2 earned runs in his last 2 away starts. So he's pitching really well. If we look at Tanner Bibee, he's got 10 earned runs in his last 3 home starts. So hasn't been pitching very well at home. A little bit of cause for concern there. He's given up 12 earned runs over his last 4 starts. So he's definitely been giving up some runs. Littell's last start at Cleveland was about a year ago. 4 earned runs. So a little bit concerning there. Actually, not his last start. His last start in Cleveland. His last start against this team was in July. 6 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run. So kind of like the way Littell's been pitching. But I would lead Guardians just at home, coming off a loss. They should bounce back. We got the wind blowing in pretty good. Again, 2 fly ball pitchers, 66% roughly for both of them. So give me the Guardians in this spot. All right, Dodgers and the Braves. This line's actually shifted, and the Dodgers are minus 108 now. Landon Knack going up against Spencer Schwellenbach. Schwellenbach definitely worse at home than he is away. He's got about a 4 home ERA. Knack's got a 3 away ERA, though it's not a lot of starts, so can't read too much into that. Schwellenbach, 8 earned runs in his last 3 home starts, 7 earned runs in his last 4 starts. If we look at Landon Knack's been pitching really well. That said, he hasn't pitched a lot. He's had some injuries, given up 4 earned runs in his last 3 starts, but those last 3 starts span about 2 months. So a little difficult there. If we look at the Dodgers, they are 6-4 versus Atlanta since 2023. They went 3-0 at Dodger Stadium. Obviously, they're at the Braves Stadium. Still have a winning record even at home against the Braves. So I hate the Braves offense right now. They're terrible. 208 over the last 14, 226 in the last 7. I just can't trust their offense. So give me the Dodgers. I like the splits on Knack, 136 average to lefties, 214 to righties. Schwellenbach struggling against the lefties with a 333 average, 414 WOBA, and doing okay against the righties, 173 against righties. All right, A's and the White Sox. Garrett Crochet Day going up against Brady Basso. I wouldn't necessarily just think Crochet's pitching. Let's go White Sox. They've lost 9 of his last 11 starts, so not good. If we look at Crochet, he's given up 8 earned runs in his last 4 games, only averaging about 3.2 innings pitched. If we look at Basso, pitched really well. We've got a very small sample size here, but his last start versus Detroit went 6 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs. So he was able to shut them down. Can't imagine White Sox pull out a victory. Even if Crochet pitches really well for 3 or 4 innings, they get a 1 or 2 run lead. I trust the Athletics can get to this really shitty bullpen that the White Sox have. All right, Reds, Twins, Bailey Oberg going up against Julian Aguilar. Aguilar's been really good. He's kind of been a little bit of a bright spot here. He's given up 2 earned runs or less in 4 of his 5 starts. Did get shelled in Cincinnati versus Oakland. That was just a home run fest type of deal. The weather was perfect for hitting dongs. If we look at Oberg, 3.80 home ERA, Aguilar 2.5 away ERA. Oberg's pitched really well in his last 2 starts, only 1 earned run. However, we go back beyond those 2 starts. He went on a really rough stretch of 3 games where he gave up 14 earned runs. So I guess there is an avenue for the Reds, but we just saw them absolutely struggle to put up runs in the Cardinals series, only averaging less than 2 runs a game in that series. So really can't trust them against a superior team and a superior pitcher. Bullpen's been struggling for the Reds, although the Twins bullpen hasn't been doing phenomenal, but still better than the Reds. I like the Twins. Minus 218 is a lot, but I definitely like them on the run line at minus 105. I just don't trust this offense. That said, the Reds are that weird-ass team where they could just pop out 12 runs today. All right, Cubs and the Rockies. We've got Austin Gomber, Javier Assad. Man, it is a weird game. Gomber is worse at home than he is away. Pretty much every pitcher that pitches in Coors is like that. Assad is definitely worse away than he is at home. If we look at Gomber, he's got a 6.62 career ERA versus the Cubs in 8 games, so hasn't fared well against them. He's given up 8 earned runs in his last 3 games, 12 earned runs in his last 3 home games, so averaging about 4 runs a start at home. If we look at Saad, he's got a 4.70 career ERA versus Colorado. He's only pitched 1 game in Coors, and that was about a year ago, almost exactly. Went 3.1 innings, gave up 4 earned runs. If we look at Assad, he's given up 7 earned in his last 3 games, 10 earned runs in his last 4 away starts. So I like the over 11 here. Plus money. It's got the hook potential, which I'm fine with. I know the wind is blowing in, but we've got 2 pretty bad pitchers here. So I guess I would lean towards that over. I don't know. I have to look into that more, but I like the Cubs in this spot. They just need this. The Rockies are completely out of it. Cubs are still fighting. All right, Astros, Angels. We've got Yusei Kikuchi going up against Samuel Adagari. Aldigari is the Italian pitcher. I think the first pitcher from Italy to make a major league start. So he's got 2 starts under his belt. He's pitched okay. He's only given up 3 earned runs in 2 games. Gave up 1 to Texas and 2 to Seattle. That said, he faced Texas and Seattle. Not very good. Astros obviously significantly better, and they've got a good track record. They're 12-7 versus the Angels since last year. They're 6-3 since last year in Los Angeles. So they do have a winning record both ways. We look at Kikuchi. Scares me a little bit. He's got a 7.82 ERA versus this team since 2022. So doesn't fill me with a ton of confidence, but we've really seen a different Yusei Kikuchi since he came over from the Blue Jays. He's given up 8 earned runs in his last 3 games, 6 earned runs in his last 3 away games. I think he shuts this team down. Angels hitting 160 over the last 2 weeks versus left-handed pitching 200 over the past week. Kikuchi, not a bad split. 219 average to lefties, 193 to righties. So he's really locking down the right side. His K rate's nice and high. He's got about a 27% K rate, looks like, when you kind of split them out. 27.6%. Only thing that makes me a little nervous is his hard hit percentage. It's about 46%, which is definitely very, very high. His exit velo's at 90. We'll have to see. Hopefully the Astros can get to this lefty. I don't love the Astros against lefties, but should be serviceable enough with the wind blowing out. If we look at Aldigari, he is a fly ball pitcher. 80% so far of his outs have come via the fly ball. So not a good sign against a Astros team that can hit it yard and the wind's blowing out. So give me the Astros for sure in this one. All right, Brewers Diamondbacks. This should be a good game. Freddie Peralta going up against Eduardo Rodriguez. I don't love Rodriguez. I typically do fade him. Peralta has been pitching very well as of late. He's given up 6 earned runs in his last 4 games, 4 earned runs in his last 3 away games. We look at Rodriguez, 12 earned runs in his last 3 games, 11 earned runs in his last 3 home games. Peralta has pitched very well against the D-backs over his career. He has a .55 career ERA. That said, he hasn't pitched against them since 2021 when they were pretty crappy. So I wouldn't read too much into that. Peralta's got a 3.39 away ERA. Rodriguez rocking a 7 home ERA. It's not good, man. Not good. I like the over in this game. I think the D-backs get to Peralta, and the Brewers should get to Rodriguez. But offensively, I just don't trust them. We look at the splits. Sub 200 over the last 14, over the last 7. D-backs are one of the hottest hitting teams still in the majors. So I'm going to back the D-backs. Peralta's just not a guy I always trust, and this is a situation where his pitch splits are terrible against this team. They are top 5 in every single thing that he throws. So if we're talking about a slugfest here, Brewers bats have been ice cold. I think the Diamondbacks can go toe-to-toe with them and outscore them if it comes to that. Maybe if you want to lean towards the Brewers, maybe like a first 5. I don't know, something like that. All right. Mariners and the Rangers. Jacob deGrom making his first start of the year. Emerson Hancock making his first start since July 6th. Really hard to handicap this from a pitching perspective. Really don't know what we're going to get. I actually think I like the Mariners. I just waffle back and forth on this. I actually like Seattle. Yeah. This line's completely flipped, actually. So I went back to Mariners because this line flipped. Now the Rangers are -115. Seattle's -105. I'm just taking the lesser team. Mariners coming off a loss, just bounce back factor. DeGrom shouldn't pitch for a ton of time here. So I like the Mariners in that spot. Padres, Giants, last game of the day. Dylan Cease going up against Logan Webb. 2 pitchers that are very familiar with the opponents. They have each faced the other team 3 games this year. So this will be the 4th time they've pitched against each other. If we look at Cease, he's got 16.2 innings pitched against this team this year, giving up 8 hits and 9 earned runs. My only concern with Cease is he gives up the long ball. That's kind of why we see it. You look at Webb, he's pitched 19 innings, so almost 3 more innings pitched, but he's given up 25 hits. He's given up 17 more hits than Cease, but he's given up 2 less earned runs, right? Webb is a ground ball pitcher. Cease is a fly ball pitcher. So we do have the wind blowing out. That said, we have not seen the Giants score jack shit. So do I trust them offensively? No. I'll take the Padres here at -108 and back their ace to get the job done. Don't know over under. I don't necessarily want to touch it. I just like Padres in this spot. All right, pitch sheets. I will let you take a screenshot of this. Did not complete it today. Just ran out of time. You can use that. Maybe find some good bets there. All right, best bets we're going with today. It's pretty straightforward. Very, very straightforward. Friday night games can be a little weird. Same as getaway days yesterday. So keep it pretty straightforward. Dodgers money line, Astros run line, Twins run line, Chicago, Colorado over 11. The more I think about that, you know what? We're going to omit that. I'm just not comfortable taking that over 11 with the wind blowing in. I kind of went back and forth on that. I felt decent about it, but not fully committed, so let's take that out. Give me Diamondbacks money line and Padres money line. So just going pretty much just square as it can be today. Parlays I like half a unit each. Houston and Minnesota, Cleveland and New York, Oakland and Washington. So just sticking with some two legs here. Like I said, Friday night. Usually don't love how Friday nights go. They tend to be a little weird. Fun parlay just did like a stupid ass 8-leg plus 6,987 lotto of Cleveland, Minnesota, Houston, Arizona, San Diego, Oakland, Dodgers, and New York. Let's have a little fun with the fun parlay since we just did 2-leg regular parlays. Upset parlay would be San Diego, Seattle, and the Dodgers at plus 624. You can see prop leans there, Nerfies. I actually like all these Nerfies. The only one I was thinking about taking out actually is the Padres and the Giants. Just given the winds blowing out, Ceases prone to giving up home runs. Minus 160 is a lot of value to pay for that. So if I had to take out one, it'd probably actually be that one. Favorite one I like would be Baltimore and Detroit. All right, guys, appreciate you tuning in. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Give it a thumbs up. Football yesterday went pretty well. We just needed some points to get to the over. Unfortunately, Tua got killed. So he got like his 4th concussion in the past 2 years. That really killed the over. I thought we had it. We were at 30 some points. We just needed, 10, 12 points in the second half and couldn't get it. So it is what it is. I will catch you guys in the next video. Have a great day.